So whenever I'm sharing my screen, please reply by audio because I need to come again here and then I can check the message. It's better you can reply by audio. I think most of you have joined. So, and I think some of the students have joined and slept also. That's why they are not saying anything. So, have you done practice for auto scaling?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And some of you were sending message that Windows is not accessible. Many time I shown you that what exactly can be the problem. Always when the machine, whether it is a Windows or Linux, is not accessible, in that case you have to cross check the VPC subnet is associated in the root table or not, whether it is defined in the root table that root default root is defined or not. So these all things you need to cross check. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so today we have planned to go with the auto scaling theories, and along with that we will go with, I think, EBS. So scaling and load balance. So auto scaling is basically a service which is used to add more EC2 instance based on the load when there is demand more. So we have seen it practically also. So it creates EC2 instance based on the launch configuration, and auto scaling determines EC2 instance type, AMI, security group, everything. And when the load goes down, it will terminate the instance automatically. But while terminating, it will check that whether any active session, any active connection is with that server or not. If it is not, then only it will. If there is any active connection, then it will wait for the connection to be terminated. Okay. Now scaling plan. Now about the scaling plan, when to do a scale up and a scale down. So we have the option, we can set default based on the launch configuration, manual when we are going to modify the desired capacity, or we can control it through API or CLI also. Okay, or we can schedule also on a specific time. We know that there can be a load in my server, then we can set that on a specific time it should scale in, and once things are done it should scale out also. Or we can do dynamic scaling, so we have done this dynamic scaling. Okay, based on the CloudWatch metric. So using the CloudWatch metrics it will monitor the things. Now it is commonly used for web-based workload with elastic load balancer. So earlier I have explained that it works along with the load balancer. Okay, because there is no meaning of adding servers. If servers gets added, there should be something on which the load should get balanced. Auto scaling uses the health check, EC2 instance status. So if the instance is unhealthy, so if it is going to check the health and it is unhealthy, or if it is not running, then the request will not be forwarded to that in this load balancing. Okay. And elastic load balancer, some HTTP request and wait for the response from the server, and based on that it determines whether this server is healthy or not. So we have the term scale out, scale in. So scale out means adding more instance, scale in means removing the instance. We have simple scaling policy where we define the CloudWatch metrics and threshold beyond which you want to scale. A step scaling policy where you are also going to define the load metrics, CloudWatch load metrics, but you can define different threshold which you want to scale. So suppose if there is a 50% utilization, then how many numbers of servers has to be added, and if there are any different metrics on a specific threshold, it should what it should do. So that is called a step scaling policy. And target tracking policy where you can only define CPU or memory users, based on that it is going to create the machines. So this was basically related to the auto scaling, the practice which we have done. Always I repeat, what I am going to uh, show you, that is in terms of theory, that is a summarized theory. For the detailed theory, please refer this book, okay, and the AWS portal. So just now, like I have shown you the auto scaling, and if you see the same here, there will be bit more theoretical explanation. Let's see. This is about the auto scaling lab, and prior to this there will be theory also. Okay, so that you have to check in this book. Now moving to the next. EBS, Elastic Block Storage. So what exactly is a EBS? So in short we can say EBS is similar to the hard disk, okay, in the cloud. So when we create any EC2 instance, this EBS is also created automatically based on the operating system. Like if we are creating for Windows, it will take the size automatically of 8 GB. If you are creating for, sorry, for Windows it will take 30 GB. If it is Linux, then it will create 8 GB of the volume automatically. So here in this practical, what we are going to see, in this practical we are going to see if we need additional hard disk to the server, how we can add additional hard disk. Also we can take a snapshot of the default created and additional hard disk both. Okay, so EBS means elastic block storage. Okay, and this is similar to the additional hard disk or the hard disk in this EC2 machine. Okay, so it is additional virtual hard disk in the cloud, like VHD, virtual hard disk file in VMware. We can take a snapshot and store it in S3 bucket. Later we can recover the data from a snapshot. Okay, and the default behavior is to delete the default created attached EBS. So when we are creating any machine, automatically the virtual hard disk is created, and when we are going to delete, it gets deleted along with the EC2 machine. So when we are going to terminate. Now here in this practical, what we are going to do is, we are going to create a volume. We will take a snapshot. We will attach and deattach also. Okay, so this we can practice with the Windows and we can practice with the Linux, both the options we have. Okay, and when we delete the volume, we have already taken the snapshot. From the snapshot we can recover it. Okay, so let us see. So for this practical, we'll go to the EC2 option. Instances, and I'll create two instances, one for Windows, one for Linux, so that I can show you this option in both. Linux 1, let it be Amazon as it is, only I need to create a key pair. PPK, and network setting as it is. Okay, I don't need to any HTTP or HTTPS. I can select existing. So what is the problem you are facing? You select the default. In the default you have to verify the security group, whether your SSH and RDP is allowed. Along with that, your internet gateway is attached to the VPC or not, root table is there or not. So these all things you have to verify properly if your server is not getting access. For me, I have already defined. This is the EBS which is going to be created. Okay, so here you can see the summary. Okay, one volume of 8 GB is going to be created. Launch the instance. Similarly, I am going to add another instance, that is for Windows. I don't know, it needs more hardware resource, so I will go with 2022 base. So this is the advantage of using cloud. You will have always the latest software. Now if you come here to the Elastic Block Store EBS, you will see the volumes. So I have created two machines, so there is a two volume, one of 8 GB, one of 30 GB. You can see it is also attached. Okay. Now let me access one machine first. So I will start with the Linux. Okay. Windows will take time to get ready, 4 minutes. Meanwhile we will check with the Linux. Copy the public IP, paste it, SSH auth, private key, Linux key, clearance 12, accept, 2 minus user, sudo su cd enter. Now here to verify disk we will use command fdisk minus l, and here you can see we have a hard disk xvda of 8 GB and the partitions are there. Now I will attach one more hard disk. Okay, so for attaching one more hard disk, first I have to create the volume. I will go to the volume. Also before creating the volume, you make sure it is created in which availability zone. So you can see it is in 1D, USist 1D. Create volume. Okay, of size how much? So I want to create of 10 GB. Okay, and availability zone, you see 1D, else you will not be able to find your machine to attach. Okay, and a snapshot I don't want here to create, I will create it separately. Create one. Okay, so here it is 10 GB. Volume is created. If you see here, status is available. So now the thing is we need to attach this volume. So this 10 GB I am going to attach. Okay, so we have to select it, action, attach volume. So when you go to the attach volume, search it, you will find two instances, Linux and Windows. So I have to attach in Linux. Now what device name you want to have? Okay, I want to use SDB. Okay, so this is the name in the Linux. Okay, and then attach volume. Okay, now you can see the volume of this 10 GB, first one is attached with the resource. Okay, and the status earlier it was available, now it is showing in use. Okay, where we can check this, go to your Linux machine, again execute the same command fdisk minus l. Now you can see there is a one more hard disk of 10 GB here. So let me clear it again, fdisk minus l. So when you use fdisk minus l, here you can see there is your hard disk xvdb of 10 GB. Okay, yeah, xvda is the first hard disk, xvdb is the second hard disk of 10 GB. Now to store data in this, what I need to do? First I have to do the partitioning, f disk slash device xvdb. To create partition, N for new, P for primary, 1 will be the by default partition number, then the starting sector will be whatever it comes, and the last we have to give the size how much we want to create. I want to create 5 GB, so I will write plus 5G. It's done. You can see created a partition 1 of type Linux. So as of now you see there is a no partitions under this 10 GB. Okay, now I will use uh, W to save and exit. If you want to see the partition table, P. So you can see there is a partition XDB1 of 5 GB. W to save and exit. Okay, now the next is we need to inform to the kernel. For that I will use part probe /dev /xvdb, only hard disk name, not partition name. Now we need to format it. mkfs makefile system type ext4 or x. xfs is the latest file system of the Linux, that also you can use. Then the partition number dev xvdb1. Okay, so here is your partition number which you have seen in the partition table, so that you have to give to format. So you see it's been formatted. Now the next we have to do is, once we have formatted, we have to mount it. To access, mount /dev /xvdb1. I want to mount on mnt folder, or if you want to mount on any other folder you can create it. Now I will go inside the mnt folder and store the data. Okay, cd enter. So as of now if you see, we have some file inside mnt. Okay, we have India file. Now what we have to do next is, we have to take the snapshot. Whenever we have the data in the hard disk, we need to take the snapshot. So we will go in the elastic block storage snapshot. So create a snapshot. So you want to create a snapshot of what? Volume. Which volume? Okay, so these all are volume ID. So we are not able to understand with the volume ID, so we'll go again here and check the volume ID first. So for the 10 GB the volume ID is 9B6. Okay, or from here also you can create the snapshot. You can select action, create a snapshot. Okay, so volume ID is selected. A snapshot details for practice. Okay, and just create a snapshot. So we need to wait for the snapshot to be ready. Okay, it's completed. Okay, available also. So now when the snapshot is ready, what I am going to do is I am going to delete this volume. Deattach. First is deattach. Refresh it. Just a minute. So we have created a snapshot. Snapshot status completed. I am going to delete it first. So we have done the mounting. We'll do unmount. Okay, and once it is unmounted, fdisk / dev xvdb, sorry, what is the hard disk name? xvdb, correct? Let me check. Fresh 10 GB. You see it's deattached, so that's why it is not showing here. fdisk -l. You see now it is showing only 8 GB of hard disk. So we have deattached. After deattach, you select your volume and you can delete it. Okay, so now you can see that 10 GB volume is not there. If I want to recover the deleted volume or the deleted data through the snapshot, we have to select the snapshot action, create volume from a snapshot. Okay, availability zone 1D. Okay, and just click on create a volume. Okay, so let us see whether the volume is created, ready or not. You see the volume of 10 GB is created. Now we have to attach it. Attach volume, Linux, device name xdb, attach volume. See, now in use, when you go there and check fdisk -l, we have the 10 GB volume along with the partition. Now if we use cd/mnt, you see, because we need to mount it. And once we have mounted, now you check your file is there in India. Okay, I hope these things are clear. Any confusion? So is this clear that how to create a volume, EBS volume, and attach with the instance, deattach with the instance and all? Now,
sir.
yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the removal of this with the process properly. So when you finish your practice, then the first thing is you have to use unmount div xvdb1. Okay. After this, the next you have to do is unmount is done. Okay. xdb1. The next I have to delete the hard disk. fdisk/div xvdb. P for partition table, no partition table is there. W2 date part probe/div/xvdb. So this deletion process is not required, just to show you how to delete the partition and all. In the hard disk I have shown it. Once it is done, then you will come here and deattach your volume. Deattach. And once it is deattached, you will select action, delete the volume. Okay, now it's done. So as of now you can see there is a snapshot, and if you have not deleted this snapshot, it will come in your bill every month. So make sure you delete the snapshot also. Okay, so now whatever things we have done is deleted. Now for Linux work is done, so I'll remove the instance for Linux. Okay. Now coming to the Windows, same thing, how we can practice in Windows. Connect RDP, more desktop file, get password, your private key. Decrypt the password, copy the password. Okay. As it is a Windows, it will take time to load. Meanwhile it is going to load. Let us see here. So we have deleted Linux machines, so when you see the volume, that 8 GB volume is also deleted with that. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to create a volume for practice here in Windows. Same volume also I can use, but the size here I will use 15 GB 1D create volume. See, 15 GB I have created. Now it is available to use. So as of now, Windows are disk t.msc. So here you see how many disks we have, one of 30 GB. I'll add one more. Select of 15 GB, action, attach volume, select your instance, Windows, device name, XDVB, attach volume. See, now it is in use. If I go there, I can see one more is there. It is showing offline, just to make it right click, make it online. Okay. Action, refresh. Okay. Just close and open it once. It is showing initializing disk 1, which partition table style you want. So generally we have the MBR. Okay, now you see the disk is ready. But similarly, how we have done in Linux, after attach we have to right click, create new volume. There we are using with the command here, new simple volume. Next, what drive letter you want to use. Next, okay, volume name you want to give anything, okay, file system what you want to keep, and perform a quick format. Finish. So you will see one more volume is created here. So if you go there, you'll see. So I'm going to create one file inside it. Okay, so I've created one file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a snapshot. So before that I need to check volume ID EA4 snapshot EA4 for test, create a snapshot. Now if you see, a snapshot status is pending, let it complete. Based on the volume size, it will take time for your snapshot. You see progress, only 10% is done. Now it's available, completed. After taking the snapshot, I will go to the volume and delete it. First, detach, 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 first, detach refresh and wait. Now it's detached. I'll delete the volume. And even that volume is deleted, we can create the volume with a snapshot. Action, create volume from a snapshot. One D, create the volume. Now you see it has created a new volume. Okay. This time you see the volume ID change now. We can select and action, attach volume with the instance, Windows XTB, attach the volume. So here in the action refresh, you can see we received the volume once again. And if you go and check the data will be as it is. There is no change in the data, no need change in any partition. So this is the advantage of it. Only I didn't refresh and show you after deletion that the hard disk is deleted, that you can check. So overall concept of this was, if you want to create additional hard disk, yes, you can create it here. And if you want to take the snapshot, the backup of all the data of that hard disk, so you can restore it later. So that is also possible. So this was your EBS topic. If you have any questions, you can ask. Detached, then delete it, and delete the snapshot. So a snapshot is not mandatory to take every time. It is if you want to take the backup of your hard disk state and their data, then you take the snapshot. So later when it is deleted accidentally, or you want to recover the data, these things you can do. Okay, only this one. So now I am going to delete or terminate the instance. So I hope these things are clear. Any questions? So here we have created EBS volume, deleted, attach, detach, mount, unmount. A snapshot also we have created, and created volume from a snapshot. Okay. So this was the EBS topic. Next after this we have the S3, so we will start it tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any questions if you have?
No, sir.
Okay, so practice it well. We'll connect again tomorrow. And those who are late joiners, try to use alarm and join on time, else there is no meaning of joining after 30 minutes. Instead you can sleep better, and you can see from the recorded session also. Both options you have. And one more thing I would like to cross check once again about your attendance. Morning batch. Vranda Kulkarni, you have joined. Amruta,
Yes, sir, Vranda Kulkarni, yes, sir.
why you are sleeping? Amruta
No,
joined na?
yes, sir.
Saila, Saila Nayak joined. Pooja, Manoj,
Present, sir.
Harsha, Harsha Vardhan Reddy, Sachu Silzad joined. Abdul Majid,
Present, sir.
Rahul, Rahul is there. Uh, Nikshay,
Present, sir.
Sanmay,
Yes, sir.
Sneha, Vandana, Shruti, Monica. Okay, so only six.
Sir, you didn't call my name.
What is
You
your
didn't
name?
call my name, sir.
My name, sir.
So you can see here on the screen, na, your name is there or not?
No,
No,
sir.
sir. My name.